We did see a rapid warm up into the beginning of this week. And in fact, we're going to start pushing heat records a little bit later on. So that's the way things go in New Mexico during the spring. But hey, at least we get a little bit of bonus moisture out of that. Looks like there's at least a little bit of renewed snow out there in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, or at least from this perspective of our Buffalo Thunder Skycam. You can see that out at the Santa Fe rail yards. It's mostly clear sky out there, and it is warmer than it was just yesterday at 60 degrees right now. Same can be said for areas like Rio Rancho and Albuquerque. Certainly looking more spring-like today than we saw on Saturday. And part of that is because we have mostly clear skies. The system that was overhead has already moved on, and it's taken that moisture with it. But we are looking at some, I would say, typically gusty situations across the state with the higher wind speeds across northeastern New Mexico, 30 miles per hour Las Vegas, about 26 miles per hour in Roswell. But for tonight, going to be expecting to see mostly clear conditions throughout the state. It is going to be a cold one across most of northwestern and north central areas of the state. But by tomorrow, we're going to start to see some moisture seeping in from the east. And this is going to set up a pattern that we're going to be watching almost every afternoon starting Tuesday into the end of the week. And that is that moisture which sort of forms a dry line. And so now we know that there is going to be a level 3 or about a level 2 threat right here across the eastern borders of the state. So for most of eastern New Mexico, that's tomorrow. We could see some hail and also gusty wind forming. Same setup for Wednesday, when I'm anticipating isolated storms could be severe, pretty much against the Texas border. And then through Saturday, some of that moisture is going to shift to the east of us, so we are looking at sunnier conditions, at least by Saturday. So across the southern region of the state, we have two columns for you. The southeast right here and the southwest on the left. Everything is alphabetical order. So for instance, Alamogordo tomorrow 85 for your high, Fort Sumner 83, and Roswell 75. You can see the bottom of your list over there in the southwest. It's Truth or Consequences with a high of 85. We have Magdalena with a high of 73, and all the way up to Deming and Hatch in the mid to upper 80s. Across southern New Mexico, Roswell and Silver City will both see sort of different situations. More moisture is set up across eastern areas of the state, so that's about a 50% chance of showers coming this next weekend. You can see not so much moisture for areas like Silver City. Mostly 80s for Roswell, mostly 70s for Silver City. Now we start moving toward the northern half of the state. Same deal, northeastern in alphabetical order. So Las Vegas will have a high of 74 for tomorrow, 80 for Santa Rosa, and Tucumcari about 81 degrees. Over there in the northwest, you can see that Chinle will be 74, Cuba 71. We're looking at areas like Durango and Farmington to be in the low and the mid 70s. And that takes us all the way to Gallup, Grants, Window Rock, and Zuni Pueblo, all areas either in the upper 60s or lower 70s, but certainly drier. And for Farmington, we're looking at a little bit of a gusty beginning of next week, but it's going to be mostly clear for this week. Las Vegas has a little bit more moisture in the atmosphere. So you'll see starting Wednesday and really kind of peaking by Saturday, that's when we're going to get those better rain gusts, or I should say rain storms with gusts. That's what we're going to see. Across the North Mountains for tomorrow, looking at 60s for the most part. 7-day forecast shows about 73 degrees for your high in Santa Fe. The East Mountains for tomorrow ranging from 70 in Sandia Park to about 75 in Moriarty. We're looking at 80s from Belen into Bosque Farms into the Albuquerque Metro. Most areas will be upper 70s or lower 80s. And that 7-day forecast for Rio Rancho showing mostly clear conditions, but we will start to see a little bit of moisture moving in by the end of the work week.